Hello friends, I'm Amanda Barr.
And I'm Rebecca Lou Brennan, and welcome to Dance Principles United, the podcast.
Together, we are passionate about helping studio owners with the business of running their studio.
Join us as we talk everything from marketing, systems, studio culture, motherhood, life, and everything in between.
This is the Dance Principles United podcast. And welcome to another episode of the Dance Principles United podcast. We have such a special episode for you today. I am so excited to welcome our guests, Jade Barnes and Lucas Newland. Hey guys.
Hey.
So excited to have you both. Movie is coming soon. That is so exciting. Dance for Your Life is going to be on our screens. What date?
April 2 is our big date. Luckily, not April Fool's Day. The day after.
April 2. That is exciting. That's coming up
It's
so
really soon,
quickly.
Amanda. It feels very soon.
Oh my gosh, how are you guys feeling about it all?
I'm really excited because the poster came out last night.
Yes.
So I felt like it's starting to feel real. You know, you film these things so far in advance that you kind of forget.
Yes.
That it's happening. And then, you know, Jade's been pushing to get us moving, And now it feels like, oh God, it's actually happening. So excited, really excited.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Because we're going to be really real on this podcast.
Yes.
I feel sick and I feel nervous.
Absolutely.
And I feel proud. They're the three words I'll say.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. And like, it's how we all feel as creatives, right? Whenever we like put something out into the universe, like this, like that nervousness, all of that. And it's great to know that you guys feel that too, right? It's not just
We
us.
definitely feel that.
Definitely.
I was talking to a creative the other day that just put a video out. You know, like they create, a lot of the choreographers do their own videos.
Yes.
And they were feeling really nervous about that. And I said, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same as when you put your first Stedford dance up and you're feeling that sick
First
feeling
concert,
in the audience.
yeah.
Of course.
We're feeling exactly the same, except I think for me, the fact this time that it's in the movies and the screen is so big, that makes me feel even more like you're going to see everything. Like Lucas, you're in this movie a lot and you're going to be on that big screen.
I think, look, I'm not so nervous about the giant screen. I'm nervous about because I won't watch myself anyway. I'll look down whenever I see myself, like everybody does. I feel like studio owners are all like happy for the shine to be on their students, but they don't want it on themselves. And I feel exactly the same. I'm very much a behind the scenes kind of guy. I think that the nervous part for me about it being in a cinema is that the first season we did was the 5 episodes, and I felt like you could really tell a lot of stories within 5 episodes. And 90-minute film, the stories are fast.
Yes.
So it does feel different, and it feels exciting. But I guess that's the difference with the cinema versus the screen situation.
It's more cinematic, obviously, but it's also it's kind of like this electric energy that goes through it, the pace.
Yes.
So it does feel different, and everything about it, even when we're filming, felt bigger, higher stakes, more exciting, more to lose. Like that's how it felt.
Oh, that's so exciting. Like, how did this all come about? Because obviously you did the season, was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, around that now.
When did we
Yeah,
film? 24?
Amazon Primes.
We filmed in 22,
22,
to be honest.
Okay, so
but
it was a while ago.
It
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
a while to edit, then get it up, then we're back here again.
So did you ever see this becoming a movie? How did it like all of a sudden become a movie?
To be honest, I never thought it would be a movie. This is a surprise to me.
No, I didn't. Going back to like the very beginning, I guess if that's where we're going to
go
start
for it.
from.
Yeah.
I mean, how it actually
all the stories.
happened.
How it happened.
Well, do you want me to let you tell this part?
I guess the
go for
first
it.
part is me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of known for just thinking I'm going to try and have a go at something. And when I watched the docuseries Cheer, I fell in love with that.
Oh, that was so good.
I just loved it. And then I thought, what about our world? We're so interesting. And I spoke to a friend of mine, Luke, shout out to Luke, our amazing director, and said, if you're ever going to do anything with dance, I want to do it. And that's how it sort of happened. And he just said to me, okay, well, you've got to take me to the undeniable main school that everybody knows. And I thought, I don't know if I can ask Lucas. I actually, like, to be honest, Lucas.
So crazy.
I know you find it crazy now because, like, we have been on so many adventures together.
We've cried a lot together.
We've cried a lot together, but at first I was super nervous to ask
of course.
Lucas. And also, I'm not from Brent Street. I didn't learn at Brent Street. I haven't really had
Been associated,
anything to do, like, really with being a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't even been in the building.
Yeah, okay.
That's the honest truth.
Yep.
We have a very good mutual friend, Louise, who really convinced us that we needed to work together. Like our magic would work well together. And the first day I went in that building, like the place is a movie set. Let's be real.
It's beautiful.
A lot of people ask me why it was Brent Street, and that might have got me a little bit of hate as well, to be honest. And that's good because everyone wants to see what goes in that building, what goes on in that building. I don't know any other studio that looks like that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to shoot from a camera.
It's torture to clean, but that's all I see. Is I'm like, everyone's like, it's so beautiful. And I'm like, don't look at that. There's dust there. There's this, because it's torture to clean.
It's so beautiful. And the people that fill it are the most diverse. They're characters. They're there. I don't think you'd find that. It's just the cast that walked through the door the first day. We saw Max Osler dance the very first day that we went in. We saw Cassie teaching the very first day we went in.
Yeah.
And we just knew it's got to be here. And, testament also to the legacy of Brent Street.
Yeah.
Really. Everyone wants to know what you're doing, Lucas.
I mean, it's 40. It was 40 years of Brent Street this year.
Crazy.
Which obviously I didn't start Brent Street because I would have started it when I was 2.
Yeah.
But I guess there is that legacy there. I mean, when you were talking about characters, it is the nice thing about, Brent Street has so many different elements to it. But if we're talking, we have the dance school element, which is the same as all of the other dance schools that we have out in the industry. But then we have that full-time element, and really those kids are a mix of all over Australia and New Zealand or international that are coming from very different walks of life as well.
So incredible.
It's really nice to feel that energy of excitement. I know Cassie's a huge part of that first season specifically, and I know that when you guys saw her teach for the first time, you're like, oh my God, this woman is amazing.
Yeah.
And
unfiltered.
Yeah, totally. Unfiltered because she is extremely passionate about doing a good job.
Yeah.
And she also, make no mistake, we all in that building feel the pressure to try and be really good.
Yeah, of course.
All the time.
Absolutely.
And we're like, so that pressure, our staff, they work really hard. Cassie works really hard. And ultimately it's built Cassie this career where now she's overseas. So
fantastic.
So it is a place. And I didn't train at Brent Street as a kid. I came from a little dance school on the coast, and I when I was younger, I saw Brent Street on stage, and I was like, oh, there's something weird there that I feel like I need to be part of. And I think it was opportunity was really what it is. So
be
so
truthful
exciting.
now, because we're going to be really honest. When I first asked you, you were like, you weren't yes straight away.
No, I mean, look, we had known each other through Louise.
Yeah.
And if I'm being really open and honest.
Let's hear it.
Being really open and honest, I definitely felt, I was running the kids department at Brent Street before I bought Brent Street. And I felt, slightly intimidated by these other kind of legacy studio owners that built their businesses from zero to success.
This is the first time you've said this
totally.
to me.
Well,
there we go. We're really getting unfiltered.
There was a lot of these legacy studios around that
And
people
there's
had
some
started
incredible-
from scratch.
I had a legacy studio.
You did, yeah.
Absolutely,
You
you
did.
did, Jade.
And so, I was always a bit like, oh God, I felt a bit weird. And, there's always like weird stuff around.
funny.
People think of Brent Street in a certain way, which in a way they think, I think because the kids are really good, they must be a certain way. And I'm like, they're not. They're just kids. Like the same as
No
kids that are,
different.
they're
what I
all
found.
kids.
Yeah.
I know that you've learnt that you're like,
I've
I'm
learnt
like,
that.
Jade, these kids will break your heart and they will do the wrong thing by you. So don't
absolutely.
trust them.
Yeah.
get
So
too
when
attached.
I'd had a few interactions with Jade, and specifically I remember at Louise's birthday party, we had a bit of a chat, and I was like, oh,
Hopefully after a couple of champagnes.
it was.
Yeah,
it
it
was.
would've been.
I was like,
Absolutely.
oh wow, like she is actually not actually, but no, I was like, she knows her shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I felt excited after our conversation and a little bit inspired to be like, okay, so that's like somebody who has this legacy student. I was surprised. And then when Louise called me and was like, hey, this kind of thing, and you came for the chat. I mean, these chats have happened before in
Yeah.
in other ways. I
Many
mean, but
people have asked Lucas to do it before.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so they had, and look, before I owned it, and
Yeah.
the Howard family owned it, there were always
There
different
was
times.
different,
did
yeah,
so
there was
many
different
They
things.
things.
Yeah.
really hard to try and get these things off the ground. And you know, TV is it comes and goes, and then there's an idea, and then they pull funding and go over there. Like, it just is.
Yeah.
It just has to be divine timing,
Yeah.
I think. And I feel like, you know, there was times where things like, you know, I was asked to talk about dance mums at one stage, and I was like,
absolutely,
that's not for us. Like,
Yeah.
it just is not.
I was going to say absolutely not, but
No.
let's be more positive around
Totally.
that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
not for everybody,
Not
right?
for everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel a responsibility to do the right thing by the industry. And you know, I know we all do, but I feel like people look at Brent Street to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And then when I spoke to Jade, and then I spoke to Luke as well, I felt like it didn't feel as big of a risk for me
Yeah.
speaking to you, because I knew that you also had something to lose
You know,
as well.
I'm going to do a little song.
You know,
We're all in this
Totally,
together.
totally.
Like
Yeah.
if we go down,
Absolutely.
We're going
I'm
down
going
together.
down as
Yeah,
well
and
because
so
we're,
we've all got to build it
Yeah,
together
I knew
and
that-
make sure it's the right representation
of
for
course,
dance.
for dance.
Yeah.
And I knew that Jade had too much skin in the game in the industry to paint dance in the wrong,
wrong
way that
way.
we don't want.
Which is, what we've felt about other shows that have come
Totally.
out before. So,
yeah.
that's incredible. Like, I love that you guys have been on this journey together
It's
from the
crazy.
series and now to the movie.
Yeah.
So you finished the series, you know, a few years ago. Did you think it was like one and done
No.
at the time? No,
I
that was
definitely
never the
didn't think
plan.
It was done because you know why? Because the fans told us it was not done.
Yes.
Like being on, and Lucas probably hasn't seen as much side of this, but
Yeah.
when I go to the workshops with the kids,
Kids.
and I see what comes through our Instagram, there are people, even last night when we put up the poster,
Yeah.
there were people from Brazil, Spain,
Oh.
everywhere.
America.
They're saying, is the movie here? Is the movie here?
Yep.
Like we know how big dance is.
Yes.
And we know it wasn't done. And also,
Mm.
like it really, the first time it focused on full-time training.
Yep.
And then the question really was, okay, there's so many of these brilliant dancers. We've just seen them on stage. What happens to them?
Do you want to give us a little bit of an overview? Where does the movie pick up? What happens? Like, give us a bit of an overview.
Okay. Yes. So basically, it starts at an audition. We had 200 dancers at Brent Street, and they were alumni and current full-time
Yep.
students. And
Open to anyone?
Yep.
yes, and well, to be honest, more than 200 applied, and people didn't even
Yes.
get in the room.
Into the room. Yeah, of course.
Like that's how hard
Yeah.
it was. How everyone
Because people were
wanted
like,
to do it.
oh, I live in this country now, but I'll fly back. I'm like,
Oh, I don't know.
I just was like, I don't want to waste anyone's time either.
Yeah.
And we also couldn't get through enough people because, you know,
watch them.
Cameras are there.
Jade
You
has
gotta-
a budget that she has to follow. Like filming a
can't take
day
it.
is like,
Yeah, expensive.
Yeah.
we can't afford to do another
Yeah.
day.
Yes. So in one big day, we went from 200 to 10 dancers.
Oh, wow.
And this audition, I'll tell you, Amanda, like, if anyone wants to be on a fly on a wall on anything, it's auditions.
Yeah.
Because nobody can act in an audition because their real nerves are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you've got your dancers. This audition felt like I could feel I'm behind the camera, and I felt nervous for them. We had people crying. We had someone vomit. We've captured the real of the auditions.
all of the things. Yeah.
And I mean, Lucas can tell you what's it like when the camera's like that far away from you, when you have the headshots in front of you, and you are literally cutting people on camera.
Totally. I mean, you know, it's kind of an inside look. I mean, obviously there's editing involved, there, but it's an inside look into what every dance studio owner has to think about. But we have to talk about it.
You have to
which is
say it
like,
out loud. Yeah.
Shit. I'm like, I don't want to say this
You don't wanna
because
be the big bad
usually
guy,
I would just
yeah.
be like pretty quiet about it, and I'd be like behind closed doors, I'd be like, let's just do this because you know they're standing right there in front of you, and I didn't want to embarrass anybody.
Of course.
either.
There's a bit I love in the movie when someone's like, "This is a really hard decision," and you're like, "No, it's not." Like you just, like sometimes.
Sometimes it's not hard.
Sometimes it's not hard at all.
Sometimes
So did
it's not
these kids that come in, they knew that they were auditioning for the show?
Yes.
Did they know
Where they were
where that
going?
was going or
They
what
just knew
it
that
was?
10 would be selected to go international.
Okay, so tell us about that in terms of the show. Like
do you want to say about what they did?
Yeah, I mean, we
the premise of the movie is actually around.
Yes, it is. It's about we were looking for 10 dancers
Yep.
across current and alumni.
Yep.
That we were going to fly to London to spend a week to work with Janet Jackson's choreographer.
Incredible.
I mean, now I know that like all my dance teachers out there are probably I mean, I
I'll
would
do
say
that.
like similar to
Such a-
Jade and I that are
Such a
Janet
nation.
fans. So we
Yeah.
were a bit like, oh my God, will we see her? Will we see her?
Yeah.
Well,
We-
do you know what?
we didn't.
There's even a little a little part that didn't make the first series when Lucas. Remember when you said?
I know.
about
I
Jade?
said my life goal when I was younger, all I wanted to do was be a Janet dancer because that's
Yeah.
where the representation for dance was.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we're going off track,
I know.
but that was the
You
premise.
said never say never.
I said never, and then I was like, oh, never say never, but I would never.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these 10 dancers were being flown to the UK. I mean, we spent 2 weeks there, right?
Yeah, we lived in a house all together, which has its own
I didn't.
elements. He didn't. I did. And then,
Good choice.
Yeah,
I
our
like to do
choreographer
this.
was training them like a backup dancer boot camp, really.
Okay, yep.
For that whole time. And then we did a big performance, which was kind of the launch of Dean's company, which is called Shape House. He has his own
amazing.
company. And while he was watching that performance, he chose one person who is now going to live in London. They've got the top agent and be part of the company.
Fantastic.
So this
And that
opportunity was pretty crazy.
Was it put to the kids as a prize or was it just that this was offered? Like, you know what I mean? Like
mean,
a
it's not
reality.
yeah, it's not reality TV.
TV, so
not
it wasn't
like,
like
a
that.
prize,
No.
but it was like this is on offer.
This is on offer
Yeah.
if you make it. Like
Yeah.
they knew that was on
we
offer.
we actually kind of forgot about it along the way
Yeah.
because during all the filming we were just so engrossed in making sure that they were learning this combo and everyone was looking good and everyone was feeling good and
Yeah.
that they were all eating properly and doing their laundry. Like it was just all of those things and getting there on time, waking up,
Yeah.
have a shower. Like
Yeah.
we were trying to do that, and then we were getting to the end of the night and we were like, oh, we
Someone's
actually
gonna
we have to pick somebody. Like somebody has
Yeah.
to be picked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's so exciting.
And here's a scoop for you, Amanda.
Yeah.
That decision from Dean didn't come till 5 minutes before we filmed
oh,
it.
shit,
He was
really?
tossing up between.
Is that in the
three
movie?
people.
I haven't seen
No.
it. No.
He was tossing up between 3 people right to the end.
And so it was just so, and it is
And
like
Lucas
it's
and I didn't
personal
have a say.
preference,
Like,
right? We all know
we didn't
that.
have a say in that.
Yeah.
So we were like
Oh
finding
my God,
out
I can't
real
wait.
time.
I can't wait. Is everyone keeping a very tight lid on it?
Yeah, I think so because
Yeah.
nobody's said anything. What I just want to go when we go to the movies, I just want to go and see everyone's reaction to
Yes.
who wins, and I hope there's a movie where that person's in the audience, and I want them to feel that love, you know,
Yeah.
because they really deserve it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I'm really
so good.
excited about that part,
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
and I want to know what everyone.
Who are they
they're
gonna
predicting?
expect?
That's what I want to know too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me about Dean Lee because, you know, that's an interesting name to come into your world.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be such an interesting story about how that happened.
Yeah.
Like tell me all about it and how
Okay,
that
there's
all
kind
happened.
of 2 facets to it. I guess something about me is that I have these little spurts of I'm going to just do something a little bit. What's the word? Crazy, rash? I don't know. Like daring.
I just think it's like, I mean,
Daring?
yeah, I was going to say ballsy, but can we say that?
Yeah.
You can
I feel
absolutely.
like Jade has this thing where she's just like, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
she
gonna do
and
it.
she
Yeah.
and that's
But I still feel really nervous.
Yeah.
And
But fuck it, let's do it kind
Yeah.
of vibes. Yeah.
Dean had posted an Instagram story. I was following Dean on
Yeah.
Instagram because he
Is
is
incredible.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But I was nervous to talk to Dean, just like I was nervous a bit to talk to Lucas.
Yeah.
I think actually more. Sorry, Lucas. I think
that's
I was
fine.
more nervous.
Good.
with Dean.
So you should be.
Yeah. And he put up a post about how he was like unhappy with the TV and film industry.
Yeah.
And I went, exactly what he said is what we kind of were thinking about. The theme, you know, the underlying theme of our show really is talent enough. Or what else is it going to take
Yes.
to make it? And he was commenting on that. So I thought, I'm just going to message him.
Yep.
So I messaged him and I thought it would probably just sit in the, you know,
Inbox
the request
and-
that
yeah.
no one sees. And then he messaged me straight back. And then we just started messaging and then we went on a Zoom with his agent. And I said, look, we're looking for some kind of opportunity. I don't know what you can offer, but I'll put you in touch with Lucas and you two can work that out.
Yeah.
Because it's not for me to manufacture this opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, you guys can work it out, but would you be interested? And his agent said, we'll come back to you. And then on that original Zoom, Dean, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. You said, I don't need to come back to you. I'm going to do it. And we
Exciting.
just felt like I would say my personal highlight of this movie versus the series is meeting Dean.
Oh, absolutely. You
And-
got to live out your Janet Jackson dreams.
Yeah.
In a
Totally.
version, maybe not how you expected. Yeah.
And even when the filming was wrapped every night, I just sat in Dean's room. I feel like I'm going to cry saying this.
Oh,
Like, I'll be really honest. I had a really hard time before we went. My mum was in hospital and
Yeah.
I had to leave her to come
Yeah.
film.
which is
And
very
I was
difficult.
very like,
yeah.
I'm getting right now. the whole time.
Of course.
And every night when all the camera crew packed up, I just stay in Dean's class.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing. I just wanted to watch it. And I loved it. And I hope that the teachers get to watch how he teaches in the movie.
Totally.
There's a part when he chooses the lead and then he lets down the person that doesn't get the lead. And I don't think the general audience will really care about that part at all. But as a teacher, I just think he's the most beautiful man with the best way with dancers. And
and he's not just a choreographer. He's a teacher as well. Like he gets it. He knows how to train. He knows how to get the right thing out of people without being belittling or mean. It's not that old school kind of mentality. It really is.
But there's respect.
Really, but he commands respect. They're all like there. But, you know, I think that if you show up for your dancers and you give them what they need, the respect will be there.
Everyone go please follow Dean, and you can call him Mama Dean. That's what, that's what the kids call him, Mama
my
Dean.
gosh,
So.
that is so amazing. I cannot wait to see this, and it'll be so interesting to see it, as you said, on the big screen. There's different cast members too, right? For those people, like you have some of the old cast, but also some new kids. Is that right?
Yes.
That's correct.
That's
I'm
exciting.
very excited about the new ones.
Yeah.
Everyone knows, I'm sure everyone knows and loves the existing OG
Yeah.
cast. And, you know, I think I don't think the audience would have liked it if we didn't have some of them. They're who would the fans want to see now. But they don't know what's coming as well. Like I want to give a shout out to Abby. I just love Abby's dancing throughout. I think she's one of the strongest females I've seen come through in a long time.
Abby White. She really is.
My daughter had her as a teacher last week, and
really?
she came home, and my daughter's not on Instagram, and I'm that mum,
Yeah.
and she didn't know that she was. I'd showed her about the Dance Life movie, but it didn't click for her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Mum, all the girls were really excited that this girl's," and I was like, "Yeah, that's the one that's on Dance Life. Remember I showed you?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my God, she was such a good teacher. She had such good," and
good.
you know, she was talking about not just her dancing, but her as a person.
Yeah.
And I think that shows so much maturity, so much, you know, that they've been trained
She's
well.
strong.
Like
She's
so
fiery.
incredible.
She's ready to get that spot.
But she's also like the reliable.
Yes.
She's never late. She's not skipping ballet. You know, she's
showing up.
Other students are just like, why is it Abby? And I'm like, well, she does the work, so you can't.
Yeah.
You know, but this kid does the work, but she has something about her as well, which you know.
And she also has something very full on happen to her.
Totally.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes.
You leave us with those spoilers.
I'm giving you all the spoilers.
Yeah.
And I guess a new favorite of mine is Jake as well.
Yeah.
Jake, I was kind of like looking to see who would be interested in. Now I want everyone to know I can't decide in the audition.
Yeah.
But definitely like Lucas, you're one of the voices that decides.
Yeah.
In your head, you are trying to think, I guess, who will be good for the show and the
Of course.
Yeah,
and
both.
the thing.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
It is a show
dancing.
as well. Yeah,
Yes, but I
absolutely.
mean, it's still a dance audition first.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's also a representation. I think this was the hard part. Is I'm like, hey, we're taking 10 kids, young adults that have trained at Brent Street over and putting them in a professional environment. I'm like, I hope that they're okay. Like, are they going to be able to do this? And so there's the responsibility of that. But then I also felt the responsibility of like, these are also Australian dancers that are going over into the UK. You know, Australian dancers have a reputation in the UK for being super strong. So I was like, we were also thinking, what is Dean going to choreograph? So I'm going, okay, I need to make sure these dancers are well-rounded enough to be able to handle whatever he's going to throw at them. But Jake specifically, I mean, we do a tour.
You're a little nervous.
Oh, he drives.
We love you, Jake.
In the best possible way.
Let's just say one of the
But I
first
see
things you
myself
see
in him
Yes,
because
I
I'm like,
know.
but that's what it is. Because look, I was the naughty kid.
Yeah.
I was the kid that skipped ballet.
Yeah.
I was the kid that had the ability and you know, I got pulled into the office and was told.
Frustrated because they can see
course.
the potential, and
So it's
all of
funny
that,
he
which
says
is what
he
you
got
said.
pulled into the office because one of the first scenes we see Jake in is in the
Is
office.
being pulled into the office.
You know? And you need to have a kid that's happy to be filmed doing that too. See, like a lot of people would be like, don't show that, you know.
I think that they all trusted because they'd seen the first season.
Yes.
And you know,
Helps.
that was a scary time for all of us in the first season because we were like, what is this going to be edited into? And you know, the first season we filmed for a year.
Yeah.
Pretty much like 4
This
days
is
a
like
week.
August and September. That's it.
And so the amount of emotions that even I had within a year's time, like, you know, we're dance studio owners. We have emotions.
Yes.
So So
Quite big ones sometimes.
quite big ones. So, I think that we were all nervous first season, but I think going into this second iteration,
kids weren't
everyone knew,
nervous.
hey, these people aren't here to edit us in a way to make us sound
That
shit.
But we are going
Yeah.
to show the real you.
Yeah.
And if you're naughty, we're going to show naughty.
Yeah, but-
and then
but
if you're
not a
fabulous,
shit
we're going to
editing.
show
Yeah.
fabulous.
No one's getting a bad
I
edit.
love that you said that because, like, if I can be completely honest as well, with the first series, I didn't watch it for the first few days it came out because I had nothing to do with the show. It had nothing to do with anything. I was nervous about how dance was represented.
Me too.
Because it's so nice to hear that everyone feels like that because I've seen, we talked about that other show before, that show that won't be named, but that just makes me sick to watch that because I hate that I have friends that aren't in the dance world that are like, oh, that's what happens in your studio.
Totally.
Absolutely, it does not happen in my studio.
Yes.
And so I kind of had put it off for a few days to watch it. And everyone was like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? I'm like, yeah, I'm not quite ready to watch it yet. Like it took, because, that's important. So like you obviously felt that pressure to represent dance on the screen, but also represent Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lot of pressure.
I think that
The whole thing is a lot of pressure. Let's be real.
Yeah, I definitely felt a lot of pressure in the way that I was nervous about. I felt responsibility over the kids.
Yes.
Because I was like, these are kids and they're going to say and do things that in 5 years' time their opinion's going to change, but that's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that I didn't want to, hang on, I'm just going to get my words right. I didn't know what the show was going to be. And I also was thinking, oh, Lucas, you can't be too boring because otherwise it's going to be a flop as well.
Yeah,
So,
you can't have nothing happen.
and
Yeah.
the first day that we filmed, I'm going to be
What are you
honest
gonna
here.
say?
Yeah,
Sorry,
let's
I'm going to
go.
be honest.
Say
Sorry,
it.
I felt pressure to possibly be a more heightened version of,
Yes.
of who I am,
Yes.
because I thought
To amp it
oh,
up a little bit.
that's
Yep.
what they want, and
Absolutely.
I love you, Jade,
Yeah.
but it was like we need the stakes to be high. We
Yeah.
need this pressure, and I know that at
Yeah.
that point you were feeling that pressure because it was the
Yeah.
first day of filming, and you're like, oh God, we better
Yeah.
try really hard. So I feel like personally, when I look back on season 1 and when I saw it, I was like, oh, there's things in there that is actually a heightened version of what
Yes.
it is, because
You just want to talk about Jazz 1, don't you?
I mean, to be honest, Jazz, I mean, it
Let's
sounds
talk about it.
ridiculous, but like
Yeah.
that's not like it. That's how it kind of rolls,
Everyone
but it's not
does
like
want to
that.
be in Jazz
It was,
1.
yeah.
It's heightened.
It was
It's heightened for TV.
the show. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the only time where I feel like I exploded a little, and that was actually true, was towards the end of the season when we were putting together the grad showcase.
Yeah.
And usually I would have been a lot more hands-on through the process, and would have probably put in a little bit of harder, firmer direction. But I was like, I don't want to come across like that. So I held back, and then it got to a point where it was almost too late.
And
And,
you're
then
like,
I was
"Oh,
like,
shit."
oh shit. I was
Yes.
like, because now I'm like, we're going to put this on national television. Like, this needs to be good.
That was
Yeah.
the only day
And
you
that was
cracked it.
that was the only day where I was up doing
Yeah.
model walks down the room
Yeah.
for everybody to follow, which I was like, and then I actually
we
said,
loved
please
that
don't make
day.
me be a crazy dance teacher.
We
But I
loved
was like,
that day.
but, so the front end, yes, nervous about that.
yeah.
Nervous about the amount of things that you say, how you're going to be edited, all of those things. There was things that,
I'm still nervous this time for the same kind of things.
yeah,
Like,
I'm not as nervous this time.
Really?
No, because I feel like there's nothing, I mean, there's things in there obviously, but I don't think that there's anything that anyone personally will feel like, oh, people are going to feel a certain way about me if I'm saying
yeah.
that.
Okay. I think it's more to like, the show definitely is saying if you want to have a long career, you're going to have to make it international.
Yeah.
I think maybe some Australian dancers will be like, really? What?
Do we have to? Yeah.
Yeah, can't we just be here? But let's be real. There's not enough work here.
Yeah.
So maybe that might get some pushback. I'm not sure.
I did think that when the line when Cassie says that, I was like, I wonder how people are going to feel about being told that that
can't
that
stay
you need
here.
to have for more longevity, that you need to look overseas. Now, look, that comes in ebbs and flows in this
Absolutely.
industry. We went through a time after So You Think You Can Dance. I mean, that was a long time ago, where commercial dance was high and dance was everyone wanted dancers. Now we're in a time where everyone wants to watch a cooking show and everyone wants a chef. So it goes in ebbs and flows.
Absolutely.
And the industry seems to flow in the way of that musical theatre will get really busy and commercial dance will drop down a little and then it'll swap back up the other way. It just
But
is
right
at
now,
the moment.
it's pretty quiet for commercial.
Commercial dance is quiet. Musical theatre is alive and well in this country and
Yeah.
it's making big money for our economy. So
Yeah.
I get it. But there are dancers that do work a lot, but they're also teaching to supplement that income.
Absolutely. That's just
Which
the
is
nature
which
of
is
it.
which
Yeah.
is what it is. I mean, if you want to just work consistently, I mean, there's just bigger contracts overseas.
Absolutely.
we don't have the
It's the
artists here.
population as well.
Of course,
It
population.
has
as
to do
well.
with the population, not just the artists or what else is going on. It just has to do with the population.
Amanda, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bit I'm nervous about
Okay.
is the underlying theme of kind of the beauty standard of the dance industry. I am nervous about that because
Yes.
in the first season, if you imagine I'm the only dancer on the crew and the
Yeah.
executive team, they don't understand a lot of what's going
Yeah.
on because they're like, in their eyes, some of the best dancers didn't work after, and some of the people they didn't think were going to work were just like getting everything. And
Yeah.
they're like, why won't any of you talk about this? And we tried to do it with a little bit in the first season.
Yes.
And everyone is super uncomfortable to actually say the words of
Absolutely.
what's going on. Even I'm thinking right now what I'm saying.
How
is
do
like,
I say it?
I
Yes.
don't want to say the wrong
Absolutely.
thing. And I think, like, let's give Emily her full credit.
Mm-hmm.
Emily puts herself right out there. In
Yeah.
the start of the show, she tells us she's lost 10 kilos in an effort to fit more the mold of what she thinks she needs to do
Yeah.
to book a job. Now, this brave girl puts herself in the like in her photos losing
Yeah.
weight, right? Somebody that is so nervous
Yeah.
to not wear a T-shirt
Yeah.
is doing this on the camera to show you what's
Wow.
going
That's
through
incredible.
her
Yeah.
head. And look, we can't just say, no, it doesn't matter. You can be any size. You can look any way. You can be any diversity. I've had to think about this a lot with this show, and this is what I've come to. If you are the look, it is going to be easier for you.
Yes.
And you are going to
Doesn't
get
mean
a
it's
faster
impossible. Yeah.
pass.
Absolutely.
If you are not the look,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you're not going to get there. And Dean's own story is like the perfect example of what that can be like. But it means it's going to be a lot harder, and you're going to get a lot more no's, and you're going to have a lot
You have to find
more,
the right job.
yeah, and you're going to have a lot more like you're going to have to keep sticking with it.
Yeah.
And if you're not the look, you need to have a look.
Yes.
You can't just blend and be not memorable.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy is a great example of that. And she talks about
Yeah,
in the film,
yeah.
and she's not the traditional kind of long hair flowing partner girl that's going to get
Yes.
picked for that kind of part. But everyone remembers Sammy. She shaved her head and peroxided it
She's
blonde.
the one
and
that's booked.
She's booked already. She
Yeah.
looks amazing because she's got
A look, and
Yeah.
she stands out.
So that's how I've kind of come to sit with it. Now, I think even saying that, I might get some heat from that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think none of us really feel that
I
comfortable
think that
talking about
I
it.
think that the training industry has changed a lot.
I was going to say,
It's
since we were
changed-
kids.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
changed a lot, and it's not. I don't think it's based on that, but the industry that we're feeding into is slower on the uptake.
Yes, that's right.
So it is a hard thing. You know, you're training all of these dancers to be able to do all of these incredible things, and then they get out into the industry, and there's a lot of other variables that come into play that aren't about ability.
And not even just look. It's like, your attitude and
so
your
much
ability
more.
to take
things,
rejection.
and also,
Yeah.
Making up a landscape of different types of looks as well. So, I mean, I think a look is a thing. I feel a little bit like, as long as you, this is what I used to think, because I was the short guy. There was a lot of work I didn't get because
Yes.
I was the short guy.
Yeah.
I still hate being short. I'm going to get over it.
Yeah.
Therapy. But I felt like as long as I'm the best short guy,
yes.
then I'm bookable.
Yes.
Because there's always, I say there's a look for every kind of shape and size, as long as you're the best of that. That
And you stand out.
which is, and it's hard. There's still less work.
Absolutely.
But you know, and look does come in. Yeah, I mean, look does come into it. It's a really
and
really
wait
hard
till you guys
thing.
hear Dean's story on this.
Oh, I can't
Yeah.
wait to
He literally
see that
says
part.
he was told he was ugly. He was
Yeah.
told he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And from where he's come from to what he is, that's why it was just the perfect match for us to be talking about what we're talking
so
about.
exciting.
But yeah, if there's anything I'm worried about, I'm worried about that.
It'd be interesting to see how it's received by the dance industry.
Yes.
You know, are you mainly like focusing this to the dance industry, or do you want it to kind of reach a broader population?
That's a really good question.
You know, like, is it someone that is it dancers, ex-dancers, dance families that you want to see it, or do you think that there's a story in here for anyone?
First audience is definitely our community.
Absolutely.
100%. If I was like a young dancer, I would have watched this like 25 times. I would have learned all the story like that.
Yeah.
You're going to be obsessed with it
Absolutely.
if you're from our community. And really, we're making it for our community.
I think so.
Because we're trying to do something.
And I think
Yeah.
that the idea is that, you know, Jade and I are both passionate about the entire industry, the dance training industry specifically. It's that, you know, putting dance on the screen makes kids at home go, I want to dance. And then they go into their local school, and their local school has something to draw from to
Especially
go
if
like, look,
Absolutely. Especially if it's positive.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. They
So
go, look,
yes.
there it is.
So dance audience first. However, like last time, Emily's inbox was filled with thousands of messages from teenagers that didn't dance.
Yeah.
Because the stories about body positivity, the stories about bullying that come up again through this movie, that is universal to all
Everybody.
youth.
And it's like, you know, you brought up cooking shows before. I was watching Gordon Ramsay's documentary
mean you're
last
gonna
night.
cook it.
I am not going to cook. I do
You're not
not
gonna cook
cook
his
in the
recipe.
slightest.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yes.
mean I'm not engrossed in
No,
that
of
world
course.
and interested in it and see stories through it. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
us first, and then hopefully a bigger audience will follow from
So
behind
good.
the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. So, you know, I think you've had the dance community come out, you know, to help you and support. I know so many studios.
Surprising.
It's fantastic to see. I know that we worked together and introduced a few studios, introduced a few things with you, Jade. And you've got lots of studios that are having what are we calling them?
VIP advanced screening.
Yes. How many?
150 studios. Remember I said I really wanted to get 100?
Yes.
And we got 150 studios from all over Australia.
Amazing.
That have signed up to get their own theatre of different sizes and go with their whole studio.
Yep.
Alumni, teachers, families. Like, Lucas, you're surprised this
I
is
feel a bit
happening.
emotional about it. I was like, oh, I feel a
You're
bit
also
emotional.
surprised, aren't you? Like, I mean, we don't know if everyone's going to support it. We
No.
actually did it. And thank you so much to you and Beck for letting me go on your Zoom first with
Yeah.
your community, because they were the first to
Yeah,
jump
we
on.
offered it to our
And that
Dance
kind of
Principals
gave
United
me an idea of
community.
like
Yeah.
what was going to happen. And can I tell you, I've loved getting to know all of these owners because I have a certain community and network that I've known for a long time, maybe the legacy schools, as you would say, and other people that I've
Yes.
met along the way. But some of the most amazing messages I'm getting are from studio owners I've never even met.
Oh, that's so lovely.
And people that are having them in like remote areas. Like Jake is from Griffith.
Yes.
And his town has like said they're doing a 400-seat theatre.
Yeah.
It's going to be the biggest
Thing.
night
Oh,
of Griffith on that week.
So nice.
know?
You told me about one of our Studio Growth Club members, and I can't remember who it was. That doesn't even have a theatre, like a movie theatre in there, and they're like,
trying
"What
to
can I
get
do?
it in the RSL.
Can I put it in the RSL?" Like,
we
how
have somebody
lovely.
that's having
Yeah.
it in the drive-in theatre
Oh.
in Ayr in Queensland.
So
Like,
good.
This is pretty special.
Yes.
And do you know what? My whole thing was to show, I've been in so many meetings where they said, I don't know if dance has enough interest or I don't know if that show would get up. Like, let's just say we don't want to see Idol, Masked Singer, what's the other? Voice, every single year. Singers,
Yeah.
singers. We have had 10 years since So You Think Your Dance Can Be On. I feel
miss
like I'm
it.
on my soapbox.
I miss it.
10 years. The dancers that were on that are now amazing choreographers. Leaders in our
Yeah,
industry.
absolutely.
There is a 10-year backlog of amazing talent. Let's do something.
Yeah.
So my mission is to show everyone the dance community does want to see dance on screens.
Yes.
And like, this is like a little bit of it. It's not a spoiler. I can't really say, but let's just say I've already been in a meeting where they already have noticed what's going on.
So good.
And I think more is going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing we want to do.
That's what
Yeah.
you want,
All
right?
of the studio owners out there listening, we can't just keep training and training and everyone doing this ridiculous amount of training and there's so much talent. And then at the top end, there's not enough for what we're building. So I think as well, what it's shown me is some of the studio owners who also have resource are willing to say, yeah, we want to be a part of this too.
So good.
But it inspires those, you know, we know that we're in an industry where we're training all of these kids for an industry that's quite small, but they need to see representation of dance on TV.
Absolutely.
They need to be able to, because that does 25% of the battle with a dance studio owner of kids turning up to class, because they're going, oh, if you mean that I can do that, I can do that, or they're inspired, they're practicing, they're doing all of these things.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like that you know, is hopefully what's going to happen here.
Oh, and drive more people to dance. You know, I remember when, you know, I was a studio owner when the first So You Think came out, you know, and we had so many more inquiries. We had so much interest in dance at the time. And, you know, we know that not everyone's going to make it to full time.
And we're not
all going to
saying
make
that
it
that's what they have
professionally.
to do.
No, absolutely. But what we do know that we build in our studios is community and, you know, education and all of those things, those great life skills that they learn from being in a dance class as a child, that we know that as studio owners we can offer. So it's so great to give like hope to that industry.
I agree. And I mean, I talk about this a lot in my life, but I'm like, I feel like, you know, that idea of people having a great experience in dance is a full circle effect, because those people then go, oh, there's a musical on, I'm going to go and take my kid to watch that. So they're feeding the economy in that way.
Yes.
And then they're also bringing their kid back to that studio to train after they've grown up and done it. Like all of these people now are repeat business through community, through a positive experience in dance. So it's kind of a win-win.
Look at all of us. Like we're still in here, aren't we? We all
Dance
have
changed
something.
our lives.
Of course.
We all had a teacher that changed our lives. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here today.
Who's your teacher that changed your life, Amanda?
Rosalind Boothroyd.
Oh, really? Yes.
I know.
I think she examined me quite a lot of times.
Absolutely. She's still kicking it. And I saw her last year, at the end of last year. I went to her house.
Mine is Marnie from the Central Coast. Marnie's in Berkeley Vale. I trained there.
Marnies was so good.
It was a huge,
they're probably still
school.
good. I don't know. I
Like,
don't see them. But
yeah.
City of Sydney Marnies. Let's remember that time.
So good.
And I have to say, of course, Miss Glenda.
Yes.
Glenda, who's still helping me through the process now.
Yes.
Like probably the day I walked into her doors was probably a life-changing moment for me that I didn't even know was going to happen.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
wow,
it's
you know?
so powerful that we've all had these stories through dance, but then there's so many incidental children that did it for a year but still remember it and still talk about it. You know, I'm sure you have the same experience that, you know, I meet someone at a party that, you know, is not from our dance, but they're like, oh yeah, I danced for a year. That was super fun.
Yeah.
You know, and they might not remember as much as we remember, but it is such a great thing for our industry and for those studios to have coming up. You know, it's so exciting.
Those
So
people
I
are then
love
going to
that.
still send their kids to dance,
Absolutely,
and they're
because they
still going to
loved
go
it.
and watch The Lion King, and it's
Absolutely.
going to keep
Yes.
it generates more work. We're all feeding each other's industry at all times.
Absolutely. So
and
that's
every concert, when you go to the grad and you watch like a Brent Street grad, Lucas at the end always acknowledges the teachers where the kids have come from, because I think we all get quite annoyed when we think, oh, you're kind of, not you, I guess, or not.
Yeah, I understand. You know, people train these kids.
Yes, for 18 years or
for
whatever.
18 years, and then it's there. It's like, well, really, and maybe I understand it because that was me, I guess, that I did.
Yes.
And I was a proud Marnie's boy, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Like when I went to Brent Street, I was like, what do you mean? I'm a proud Marnie's boy.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, I changed and grew in so many ways, but I still know that like that groundwork is there. And I feel like it's competitive enough for dance studios to stay afloat, to keep getting up in the morning and staying till late at night, to keep sewing the costumes, to keep doing all this. It's so competitive, and it's such a you know, I guess it's a thankless kind of job as well. Sometimes it really is.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like I've just lost my train of
we
thought.
all need to support each
Yes,
other.
we
It's
do.
where we're going.
It
Is
is,
what I
it
think.
is. It has to be a supporting each other.
We'll all
Absolutely.
benefit. if these
Absolutely.
kind of
And
things
that's
go
what
off
I would
ground.
love to say. Like, you know, if you're listening to this, like go out and watch it in the movies, because that is how more dance will be on
And
our
even
screens.
if you don't have a screening, April 2, like that's the day before Good Friday. We're going to have that little Easter weekend.
Absolutely.
Please go. We know there's going to be cinemas with 5 people in it.
Absolutely.
We know that. Of course, the big movies have that. We're not worried about that. But, you know, they will judge in our first week how many sessions they're going to put on.
I'm just going to go across to that EQ cinema and just keep
Just sit
buying.
there.
No, I won't watch it. I'll just keep buying tickets. I won't go in to watch it. I'll just buy a few more tickets and sock some kids over there to watch it.
Because we don't know where it goes after this. So don't
Yes.
assume, I'll just wait 2 weeks and it will be somewhere else.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yes.
That's the honest
So you don't.
truth.
So you don't actually even know how long it's going to play in the
No,
cinemas.
it could
Isn't
be
that
1
scary?
week.
Yeah.
It could definitely be 1 week. So don't wait and think I'll go the second week of the holidays. Please go the first week. And then they will tell us, the movie business is just as cutthroat as dancing.
Yes.
We are competing for screens and we are competing against Zendaya. We are competing against the Magic Faraway Tree. And in the second week, Devil Wears Prada too. I shouldn't even be plugging these other movies, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're competing for that business.
Yeah.
But not only the audience, the cinemas have to decide whether they're going to give us
The
a
time.
screen.
Because
Yeah.
if people don't go, they just stop playing it.
Yeah, that's it. You're gone.
Yeah, I've done that. I went to watch 6 at the movies. I think I was telling you the other day, and it was like the live West End. And I was like, are they gonna? They hadn't put it up until like the day before.
Oh, really?
What screenings? And I was like, what's going on here? And as I was talking to you about it, Jade, I'm like, yeah, they're just waiting to see if they get enough tickets. They're not going to play it again.
They're not going to just put it up a week.
Yeah,
and
they're
you
not
can go
just.
whenever.
Yeah, they were literally putting it up day by day in my
Yes.
cinema to see what the tickets were like. I'm like, shit, I better see this. Jade's told me that they take them off if they're not doing
Yeah,
well.
guys, they
like,
take them off.
I kind of knew that would be the case, but I now that you've said the
You're gonna
word
have to buy
Devils
some
Wear
more
Prada, I'm
tickets.
like, oh God.
You gotta go buy some more tickets on OTQ, thanks.
So tell me, like, movies, totally different world, probably not what you ever both thought you were doing. What's the biggest, craziest thing you've learned about movie world?
Okay, well, I guess I'll combine it with TV as
Yeah.
well. For me, it's that everything's not what it seems. It doesn't matter if you're in one of the top 10 shows on Amazon Prime for 8 weeks and you've actually smashed the ratings.
Yep.
That doesn't automatically guarantee that you get to go again.
You have to repitch every time.
Yeah, there's things like streaming laws. There's different trends in the industry where you have to have a celebrity attached. It's
Yeah.
not straightforward.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I just thought the things that got the most ratings would be the definite to green light a movie is as hard as being a professional dancer. That's what I would say. For everyone that's thinking in the dance studio owner world, I want to go do something else. I want to say it's probably harder.
It's hard everywhere.
It's
hard
harder
everywhere.
because where you
As
are
in terms of career. Yeah.
because in your studio owner life, if you're a successful studio owner, there's not much risk involved anymore for you. You can there's things like you get bored, there's ups and downs, burnout.
Yep, all
But
those things.
generally you're pretty safe in, once you get your skill to a certain level. And then when you risk it all, let's just go big. Let's put all the chips in and do something that no one else is doing.
Yep.
I think, that's what I've learned about the movie business. It's not what you think. The difference about our movie is that everyone's pretty surprised to see this audience first model.
Yes.
That the audience is saying, let's go. I don't feel like we're convincing the dance audience to come. I feel like they're coming.
Yeah,
So
I kind of
exciting.
feel like they're coming.
I mean, the ratings will tell us in very soon.
Very, very
The
soon.
box
That's so
office, sorry, the
exciting.
box office will tell us.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see it. It is coming out so soon, April 2nd.
April 2nd.
Cannot wait to see it on our big screen. I can't wait
I've got
to
to
see
say one
One more
thing.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
At the end of the movie,
Yes.
I have fought for, before the credits roll up,
Yes.
to say, please congratulate and celebrate all of the dancers who've made this film possible. Because as dancers, so much of our life is not in the spotlight. We are
The
literally the backup.
Yeah.
And our name doesn't even come in credits sometimes. So I would love, and I don't know if I can get this started, but I guess this is
All right,
the best
let's hear.
place to
Yeah.
ask
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
that when that bit comes up, you'll see each dancer with their name come up and the music's really pumping. I'd love everyone to clap like the theatre shows at the
Stand
end.
up and
Stand
give
up,
them
Amanda.
that
Enjoy
Clap each person and film yourselves doing that so that
Yes.
it catches on.
Absolutely.
They keep talking about how the Minecraft movie had people throwing popcorn and
Oh,
doing all this
yeah, there was like a
stuff.
certain section.
Yes,
yeah.
okay. So this
Yeah.
is ours, which is
Yes.
actually just acknowing the dancers.
The dancers. Yeah, acknowledge the
give the
dancers.
dancers some acknowledgement.
So much. That is so, so good. So make sure if you're watching it, you film it, you tag, because it's still back to Dance Life, not Dance for Your
Yes.
Life on
Yes,
Instagram,
Dance
right?
Life.
Dance Life on
That's
Instagram.
right. Thank
And
you.
make sure you tag them and celebrate these incredible dancers because, obviously there was the winner in inverted commas
Yes.
of the prize, the person that got the contract, but all of those kids deserve to be, applauded because they've
Totally.
all done an incredible job. And hopefully there's exciting things coming up in all of their futures as well.
Already there.
Already, like, there's at least 4 or 5 of them that are booked on huge major things already.
Fantastic.
So we have to
That's
try
so
and
good.
wrangle. I mean, some of them flying out tomorrow. Like we're wrangling them to try and
Yes.
get them to be part of
Which
this.
is a
now.
good thing, actually. It's good.
It's a good thing.
Too
That's
many
what you
to
want
wrangle.
for them.
Too many to wrangle. I think that's,
What you
Jade
want
said.
for them, right?
That's what we want.
Absolutely. That's what we all want for all of
We
our
want
students.
people to be able to say you can make dance your life.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much to both of you for joining
you.
us. This
That
was
feels
so much
so
fun.
It's great.
Fun, quick.
Really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Thanks,
check out Dance for Your Life, April 2nd in the cinemas. Don't leave it too late. Don't leave it too late. And we can't wait to have some of the cast at Dance Teacher Expo as well. It'll be so incredible. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dance Principles United podcast. If you'd love to learn more from us, we have a special offer just for our podcast listeners. Go to the link in the show notes right now to get 2 weeks free in Dance Principles United Tribe. We would love to see you there.